What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. Today we are going to break down, obviously, week one. It just happened, just ended yesterday. We're going to break down all the games. We're also going to give you an update on the Run the North Fantasy League and our picks leaderboard, as we will do every week throughout the season. And then we are going to do our week two preview, make our picks, which will again go towards our picks leaderboard. But before we get into all that, gentlemen, how we doing?
Awful. I don't have any reason to live.
Same.
I don't want to hear it from you. At least your team looked half competent.
Yeah, if we didn't pull out a shotgun and shoot ourselves in the feet multiple times, we might have been okay.
It tends to happen.
If Ed Ingram didn't force his quarterback to fumble. So, dude, I thought stepping on Cuzzo was bad. Now he's out here punching the ball. It's ridiculous. I hate it here.
If Evan Ingram wasn't a piece of shit, not Evan Ingram, Jesus, Ed Ingram.
True.
Evan Ingram's a fine gentleman.
Yeah.
If Ed Ingram wasn't a piece of shit, he would be my favorite Minnesota Viking.
Fair enough.
Agreed. Sentiment.
Instead, you have to love. I don't know.
Chandler?
Sure.
I like Ivan Pace. Ivan Pace is cool.
Ivan Pace the goat.
I picked up Ivan Pace in my my Madden league to be my third string linebacker in Chicago, so I was wearing a Bears uniform.
That's
How does that make you feel? Yeah.
That would never happen.
Yeah, you're right, because the Bears don't need him.
According to Twitter, all your linebackers.
According to Twitter, they can suck my dick because they don't know what they're looking at.
Well,
for like 5 players that look competent.
Let's hop right into
the linebackers.
Let's hop right into our week one predictions with that sentiment. Week one breakdown. We already predicted week one. None of us did very well. So
me and Miller did better than you. That's all that matters.
Graphic, I did better than everybody.
Well,
just update
Jake, why the fuck is he listed at the top of the graphic?
I needed a win this week, that's why.
I don't know.
You should have buried him again.
But anyway, the picks leaderboard, Miller and Geek currently top it at 9 and 7. I sit in last place at 8 and 8. But we will turn things around this week, trust. And just a quick little plug for the fantasy league. Hammy Ticks, congratulations! You're currently in first place just because you scored more points than anybody. Week one of fantasy doesn't really matter.
I don't know. The greatest fantasy game of all time happened this week.
Unfortunately, Miller is above Geek in the standings, so he has something to be proud of this week in the North Fantasy League.
Oh, I definitely I got my
he scored
shit
more
kicked.
points.
Didn't
I'm pretty sure you
lose?
also lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miller scored the least amount of points among winners in our fantasy league, but he is still above Geek.
A win is a win.
Here's the
win
thing.
is a win.
For my team, I just want to put this out there. My two running backs and my quarterback gave me less than 8 points.
Better?
The 3 people.
Simply.
Lamar had a rough week, and then...
Listen, man, I started Mark Andrews and still won. So...
Listen, man, I started Eric Gray and Antonio Gibson. So
why did you start Eric Gray?
Because Rashad Penny was inactive for no reason.
Was he a healthy scratch?
I don't know. I don't know what he was. He was
really like Gainwell and Swift, so I would assume he probably wasn't.
The Kenneth Gainwell agenda thrives.
I'm assuming both of those two guys played. They probably also. What do they have? Boston Scott. They're never going to scratch Boston Scott. He's always going to play. So it's probably Scott, Swift, and Gainwell splitting carries. I didn't watch that game at all, so
it was not ready.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
So close to getting my upset pick right, by the way. Remember when y'all called me crazy and then the Patriots actually gave them a fight?
Honestly, watching that made me more confident.
The first couple of quarters, I was like, oh, dude, Miller, this is not what Miller needs right now after they were just getting killed. And then, for some reason, the Eagles decided to just be a bad football team and let them come back.
Also, the Patriots defense stepped up.
Miller, were you like me? We're going completely off topic, but were you like me last night where you were so invested in Bills Jets just because we couldn't have Jake be able to rub everything in our faces? the wins and having the best record prediction. And I was watching that game. Every time Josh Allen fucked up, I popped so hard. I was like,
I'm not gonna lie. I had it running on my laptop while I was playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
valid.
I was listening to it in the car, so I literally turned off the game, and then because I went to drop my sister off somewhere, and I turn it back on, and they're just like, Aaron Rodgers is down. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, so I mean that could be the first thing that we discuss in this little week one breakdown. Aaron Rodgers ruptured his Achilles on the fourth play of his Jets career, and his season is over, and that sucks.
There's
very badly for a lot of reasons,
and there's a really high chance that was the last time we see him on a football field.
I disagree,
but yeah.
No, okay. So I listened to Pat McAfee talking about this today because I saw it on Twitter. He was like, remember, all offseason, Aaron, while talking about this, was like, I never saw myself playing anywhere other than Green Bay. He goes to somewhere other than Green Bay, and after 5 plays, he has the largest injury of his entire life. He might take that as a sign to just be like, I guess it's time. Or he just takes that as I refuse to go out this way.
I do not think he will retire before playing.
I really hope not.
I really don't think so.
He runs entirely off of spite, and if he retired sad, that would defeat the entirety of his career.
That's valid.
Even if he retires now, 2 weeks before next season, he'll be like, by the way, here I am.
I'm worried he does. I'm worried he does some shit like that and ends up in Minnesota. I don't know how.
Not every player goes to Minnesota.
Not every player goes to Minnesota.
No, but also, every Packers quarterback goes from the Packers to the Jets to Minnesota.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared that he does that. I'd be
so upset if I got the second
I would just be devastated if I got
that would be awful.
One of the best quarterbacks of all time on my team.
So bad.
Get him out of here.
You're missing the point. Because it would end the same way as the last one did. In us getting shot in the face in the NFC Championship game.
Bro really thinks there's a script.
I don't think there's a script.
There might be.
Think there's a script.
There might be. Could happen. I mean,
there was a script.
Miller, can you explain any other reason?
Wheels this week.
Can you explain any other reason why the Bears got shithoused? Other than there's a script.
I can explain about 15 different reasons.
And he will once we get to that game.
Yeah, I know.
But starting off with, I guess, the Thursday night game, the Chiefs and the Lions. I hate Kadarius Toney. I'll be the first to say it. It's over. I was high on Kadarius Toney. You guys know this. There was a time when I was a big Kadarius Toney fan, but he single-handedly is trying to ruin Mahomes' legacy, and I will not stand for it. So get this man off the football team.
Towards a player has never worked out better for me.
How did Justin Ross? I don't get it, man. They didn't play Justin Ross at all. They played Kadarius Toney.
Justin Ross must suck.
Probably.
That's what that tells me.
Got one target, he caught it, and then they were just like, go sit on the bench. We're going to play Kadarius now. Bye-bye. Sky Moore had a drop.
85 speed in Madden. That's why it's bad.
MVS was actually okay, but really, without Kelsey, this receiving core is just so dog. They're too inexperienced. They're not disciplined. You can't. Kadarius Toney is not a serious wide receiver 1 option. MVS is not a serious wide receiver 1 option. Apparently, Justin Ross isn't either because they were just like, you don't get to see the field. Noah Gray is just Kelsey, but if Kelsey was bad at football, but he kind of had that one play that was really good. Other than that, man, I don't have much to say. Jared Goff was not good, and they still won the football game. Jared Goff had very, very, very average football game.
Goff
did not
wasn't
play that
good.
well.
The Lions' defense wasn't good either.
Nothing they did moved me. It was such a mediocre performance.
The Lions moved me by being worse than I thought. That's how they moved me.
I think that my reaction has been opposite to other people's, where people are like, "Oh my, they just beat the defending champions." I'm just like, maybe the Lions won't win 8 or 9 games this year.
Right.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Kadarius Toney literally handing Brian Branch a pick 6, they don't win that game.
Right.
And if Kadarius Toney hadn't dropped the third down conversion in Lions territory that would have set them up for a field goal to win the game. Or if Sky Moore hadn't dropped the 4th and 25 conversion, that would have won them the football game.
And speaking of wide receivers, can we chill out on Amon-Ra St. Brown, please? He's not special. He's fine.
He does not do anything like...
He's not moving.
He's not the best at anything in the NFL.
No. Absolutely not.
There is a receiver who is better at everything he is good at by a wide margin.
There's many.
He's just a small, shifty guy who can work his way inside and catch a slant pass.
Exactly.
People are going crazy. He had 61 yards and a touchdown. Like, how does that? I don't understand how that moves somebody so well. I don't get it.
61
People are like,
yards
well,
and a
he had
touchdown
16 fantasy points. Like,
no, he had.
Who else is in that receiving core? Like, excuse me?
He did
Marvin
that against
Jones?
the youngest secondary in football. I'm not moved
and with any receiver that would compete for his job.
And he wasn't even the best receiver on the field.
Yeah,
Josh Reynolds went 4 for 80.
Josh Reynolds was really good. Yeah. For some reason, Josh Reynolds torched their defense. Don't know why. But,
because no one's paying attention to Josh Reynolds.
I just remember there was a time very early last season where there were genuine Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Terry McLaurin debates and everything. That was a big thing on Twitter. And it's just how can you watch this dude play and be like, oh, he's the best at something? He's not the best at anything.
Lions Twitter thinks he's better than DJ Moore.
I mean, based off the way they were used this week, maybe. At least Amon-Ra is part of their offense. I don't know what DJ Moore did.
I mean... Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly what DJ Moore did when we get to the Bears.
I would like to bring up, so which veteran receiver are the Bills signing? They're going to call somebody up.
Mike Evans.
Well, the Chiefs. My bad.
I was going to say, no, I need them to trade for Mike Evans yesterday.
The Chiefs are going to trade for Mike Evans.
Mike Evans would be cool.
Mike Evans yesterday.
See, I'm just looking at free agents and who they should sign. Even if they go get him... I think Jarvis Landry might be a better grab.
Jarvis Landry would just be a new Juju for them, so that works.
I mean,
right.
I think
but they don't have a real... They need somebody other than Kelsey they can trust to just
That's what I'm saying. That's what Juju was last year.
Yeah.
This whole philosophy that they're in where, as long as they have Mahomes, every receiver could be good. This Thursday night game should be clear proof to them that they need to do something.
Mahomes isn't Brady, actually.
It'll be Mike. I think it should
Brady's
be Mike Evans.
Never had a receiving core this bad.
Mike Evans.
Brady made the Mike Evans look good.
I think Mike Evans would be sick. I think he'd be a sick addition to that Chiefs offense.
I want to kick Miller in the dick. That's.
But here's the thing. If I'm the Bucks, I am frantic to move Mike Evans because he's gonna walk for nothing. So I'm doing everything I can to get whatever value. Hopefully he plays his heart out for until the deadline, pretty much, and he gets his trade value up, and then you ship him.
Just slip him a second round pick, so I don't have to hear the Bears gave up more for Chase Claypool than the Chiefs gave up for Mike Evans. For the love of Christ,
a second round pick. Yeah,
slip him a second and a fifth, please.
Mike Evans, I think, would have been a Jet if Rodgers was healthy. I think that was definitely a real possibility.
I can see it.
But now I think it's the Chiefs. But I mean, Thursday night game, it was a good one. It definitely had some
fun, but it was really sloppy.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
So moving into the
shout out David Montgomery for still being the best running back in Detroit.
Ooh, that's.
I mean, usage is certainly a part of that.
Take.
Jameer Gibbs is going to be better, but right now
he's going to be better, but right this second, Monty's
the
still
option,
better
for sure.
Gibbs is going to surpass him by the end of the year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying right this second, Montgomery moved me more than Gibbs did against Kansas City.
Gibbs needs to work on his vision, big time.
Precisely. I got very scary, DeAndre Swift vibes from Gibbs against the Chiefs,
except
and that was kind
the
of
difference
my whole
is.
point there.
Swift still struggles with it, and Gibbs has played one game. So
he's got he's going to fix it. He's got plenty of time.
That.
I'm just saying, when I was watching it was like, oh no, I have seen this before. Also, speaking of running backs in that game, I have become an Isaiah Pacheco stan so fast.
Something's going on with him. He's not as bursty as he was last year. Did he get hurt?
I was gonna say that's never been a thing with him. He just runs hard.
No, but I feel like I just feel like he looked. Maybe I'm completely off base here, but I definitely think he looked slower than he did last year.
Sometimes that happens. Maybe it's just because it's the first game.
Also did get hurt, so that could be.
Oh, he did? Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. Either way, the quote they brought up
Checo
where
was sick.
Mahomes said he runs like he's trying to hurt the ground made me giggle. I love that.
It's not wrong.
It's not. It's accurate. I love it.
It's literally just what he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my dad and I. So my dad, you know, the lore, he played fullback in high school. So his favorite thing to watch in football is just backs in general, and he's obsessed with like how running backs run and you know their footwork and the way their strides look and stuff. And I showed him 5 minutes of Isaiah Pacheco highlights before the Chiefs game. He was like, "This is my new favorite player," which I thought was really cool. And then he watched Roshan Johnson play and he was like, no, this is my new favorite player.
Yeah, I mean, moving into the Sunday slate of games, I'm from the Bengals. I was the only one in this trio who picked the Browns. Defense is legit.
Sad.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man.
We got week 1 Joe Burrow. This is what he does. He's awful every year in week 1. We need to just now expect that. And
picked against him.
More importantly, Watson looked fucking atrocious.
He was I'm not. Hey, listen. That's
that's
once
all
in
I
this little
needed.
description
I don't care.
did I say Deshaun Watson won them a football game.
That's not what I was saying. I'm just saying.
Browns
I don't
defense
care
won them
who
a football
won.
game.
It's week 1. Stupid stuff happens. I don't care. What I care about is Watson sucked. That makes me incredibly happy.
That pick he threw to Daxton Hill.
Yeah. Oh my god,
crazy.
Dude.
There's not much to talk about with this game. I mean, like,
we talk about Myles Garrett giving 0 fucks.
Masterclass. Yeah, Myles Garrett just be
hit him with the crossover in the fucking wall.
Myles Garrett just be doing things.
No, he literally looked. I think was it Ted Karras? No, it was Alex
Whoever their
Kappa.
center is.
He looked Alex Kappa in the face, said, "This is what I'm gonna do to you," and then proceeded to do it and grab Joe Burrow. Like, the fucking gall you have to have.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like they were able to kick Myles Garrett inside, and they just had Okoronkwo and Zadarius Smith rushing the edges. The secondary looked good. Every single piece of the Browns defense clicked. I think Jim Schwartz was a fantastic hire for this defense.
That was, I can't get over it. That was like the equivalent, or a football equivalent of an ISO in basketball, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so, that one play was so beautiful. I mean, like,
I guess the Bengals story here is their offensive line still stinks.
Yeah.
Like, they suck. I mean, I get it. They're in a division where they have to play TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, and all these guys 4 times a year. But, like, are they going to win any, like, are they going to beat the Browns the next time they play? I don't know.
I think they will. Burrow won't play that poorly again.
Probably not.
Yeah, but, like, the offensive line probably will.
Yeah, but by then, Zadarius Smith won't be playing. Or if he is, he won't be good. I'm sorry. When's the last time he played more than 8 games?
Packers year.
Right. In 2019. Dude,
what is Miller doing?
Salt.
Oh, he's just mad that he's not on his team anymore.
I'm really not.
This is where
he's just mad that he didn't live up to his expectations in Minnesota.
Except he did.
By default, he sucks.
Wouldn't make him a captain.
I'm so confused.
Do ya?
He did,
for the Browns.
He literally played 8 games and was the defensive player of the year front runner for the entire NFL, but while in Minnesota last year. And then he got hurt because that's what happens to 32-year-old Zadarius Smith. I'm sorry.
Bro really left the team because they wouldn't make him a captain, and then went to a team that didn't make him a captain. This is crazy.
Because
this guy. What is this guy doing?
Not being a
elite
captain.
Level trolling.
He's not being a captain. That's what he's
They have a pair
doing.
of trolls at defensive end in Cleveland, I fear.
Yeah, they do.
I'm sorry. I know I keep bringing it up. I cannot fucking get over that
It was
play.
so good.
That was like I said in the tweet I made about it. It was fucking elite level trolling.
Yeah.
Also, there is something wrong with my chair. I don't know if you guys see me periodically shifting down, but like
hydraulics going out.
Yeah. I think it's because I recently realized that I can push my chair up higher than I had it. But this chair has literally been tossed around like crazy. I think the hydraulics in it were busted, and now that I'm trying to use them, they're extra busted.
By the end of the episode, Miller's just gonna be peeking over the bottom of the screen.
He's gonna look like me when I raise my desk up.
I think this is as low as it goes, but I don't like it. I like being up higher.
Then
I'm less inclined to do this.
Sticking in the AFC North. What Geek? What
side of my
could you
chair?
possibly have to say?
No, you got. This is how you podcast now.
Tried to jump with my chair and it did not work.
Oh.
The Ravens beat the Texans 25-9.
The offense was atrocious.
It's because they didn't use Ricard enough.
First of all, they're learning a new system. They'll get used to it, I hope.
Yeah.
Shout out Javier
Second
Thomas.
of all, D'Amico Ryan's good defense.
True. Third of all, J.K. Dobbins, bro.
J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles.
Fuck.
First of all, this isn't a bad thing, but Zay Flowers is insane, and I like him a lot.
Also, OBJ doing OBJ things. He had that one incredible catch and drew like 4 PIs. OBJ.
I mean, this game is also pretty straightforward. I mean, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Crowd. He
looked like
terrible.
the best rookie quarterback.
He wasn't terrible.
Congrats.
Like he certainly had the least
what we
mistakes
expected. I want everybody to remember that. This is how that was supposed to go. He was supposed to come in and be the most okay.
He's the most NFL-ready quarterback in the worst situation, so he'll still finish with the worst record out of all of them. I almost guarantee that.
He looked the best out the gate. Well, I guess you can argue the other guy.
Richardson
I kind of forgot about Richardson.
Pretty hard. Yeah.
Forgot about that game. He flashed pretty good.
I think Richardson looked better than Stroud.
Yeah, fair enough. I kind of forgot Richardson existed.
I will say I didn't watch both on like a down-to-down consistent basis, but from everything I've seen,
Stroud
Richardson
looked like
better.
Stroud, basically, is what you need to know.
It's just Ohio State
with
a worse team around him. Yeah. Ohio State if Nico Collins played at Ohio State, essentially. That's what it looked like.
I'm sad. Where was John Mechie? Why he no play? I sad. My wide receiver 1 narrative is going down.
Unfortunately, some people who have great stories just don't be good at football.
I still think he's probably good at football.
As much as we want him to.
It's just been a long.
I mean, he's probably good at football.
You know who is good at football in the Houston Texans?
Troy Hairston. Gotcha.
Troy Hairston didn't play. He's out for the year.
I mean, Pierce actually he wasn't good either.
Will Anderson.
I was gonna say Javier Thomas. I don't know who Javier Thomas is. They're nickel.
Is that the guy out of Utah?
No, he went to.
I'm thinking of Tavion Thomas.
I don't know where the fuck he went to school.
He's
been in the league for a couple years now. It's gonna bother me that I don't know.
I'm looking. He went to Ferris State.
Yeah, no, he looks really good yesterday. Sunday. God. He had a forced fumble on Lamar, and he had one play where he chased down J.K. Dobbins, and overall in coverage was really solid, which makes me happy because I was big on him last year. And he didn't quite materialize because he's a man corner, and Lovey ran a Tampa 2 defense last year, so he didn't get to play any man. And now suddenly they're running a bunch of man, and he looks good. It's almost like it's what they should have been doing to begin with.
Yeah. Well, remember when they called up their number 3 overall pick, and how about you locking down every team's number 1, and then proceeded to not run a single snap of man coverage all year, not one. I refuse to believe they did it.
Listen, it's 2008 again. Brian, go get out there. And then the kid from Bama looked at him like, Christian Harris, that's his name.
Brian?
He was like, my Brian?
Me, Brian? Yeah, the Ravens looked bad, but still won by 16.
They'll be fine. They will be completely fine. Yeah. We're all high in the Ravens here, so none of us are going to say something. The defense is going to be really good. Yeah, the defense is going to be really good.
Thank God their corners didn't explode. I was afraid
against the
of
Bengals.
them.
They might, but
Well, they will. They certainly will.
um,
If Burrow has any time in the pocket, they will explode.
problem is the
Right.
Ravens continue to be the most injured team in the league because
Which
Linderbaum
wasn't
got
supposed to be-
hurt, and
Really?
Ronnie Stanley got hurt, and
Dude, they weren't supposed to be anymore. They fired the head of their medical staff that like
And
half of the legends that have played in Baltimore
Andrews is
blame for
still
the
hurt.
injury.
I think there's
Issues.
something in the water in Baltimore that's causing all the problems.
It's because it's Maryland. Maryland fucking sucks.
choosing to
Valid.
blame it on the fact that Ray Lewis was in attendance. The curse.
Was it because of him or because OBJ did his dance?
It was
I blame
because
both of them because I don't like either one.
OBJ's torn ACL gave him like the injury curse, and then he just passed it off to all his teammates. He's infected the Ravens, and they're all
He'll
going to go
sold his soul
down.
to Satan. He'll never get hurt again.
Yeah.
But everyone on Baltimore
Obi-
loves him
I'm down.
once, except for
It's
Pat Ricard.
Week
He
18,
is
Josh Johnson.
ungrateful.
Josh Johnson completes a pass to newly signed James Prochet back on the team.
While Odell stands in the corner and calls his dad to draw up a highlight reel of Josh Johnson ignoring him wide open.
James Prochet catches a touchdown to cut the lead
He wouldn't
down.
be wide
down to
open.
50.
All 11 players on defense are just next to Odell.
But he still draws up the clip anyway because Odell's
Well,
dad.
Devin Duvernay and James Prochet just run circles around each other as Josh Johnson somehow throws it in the only place
In
where
an
11
insane
defenders are
plot
standing.
twist, Greg Roman lines up as their Y wide receiver as their Z receiver.
Go.
Alec Ingold
That
starts
went
playing-
off the rails. What's
not
next?
Alec Ingold, who plays for them? Patrick Ricard.
Pat Ricard, they already did that
Um,
last year.
Yeah, who's next?
Voluntarily, mind you.
This
It's nice.
one. The stunning fashion Baker Mayfield led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 20-17 win over the Minnesota Vikings.
I didn't watch this game. I just saw Baker at the very end.
I mean, I watched Red
and then
Zone,
get
so I
big.
saw all of the cool plays. And
I
let me
wasn't
tell
watching
you,
Red Zone.
I have to be
was
sad.
right about Baker.
Ivan Pace played great until that final play where he lets Baker run by him and then tries to pull him backward. That was confusing.
Is that who Baker trucked?
He didn't truck him though. He
Or
never
not
touched
truck,
him. He
but,
just
like,
ran
he
past
hit.
him. It was very
Well, He made contact with somebody on like the last play of the game.
He lowered his shoulder on one of his
Okay.
last
right.
run.
But Ivan didn't
It wasn't
hit
Ivan
him.
Pace though.
If Ivan Pace
okay.
would have just fucking went. No, so it was the first down of that drive.
Somebody check Ivan Pace's FanDuel account right now, bro. Somebody check
He's
his FanDuel
gambling.
account
Suspend
right
his
now.
ass.
Dude, no.
Suspend his
See,
ass.
I
We had the Bucks money
actually
line.
think that about Ed Ingram though. Like he had to have had the Bucks money line. Had to have.
Well, he gets the pass.
If Ingram was doing it, he'd have been caught because he would have been doing it right in the facility in the locker
I
room.
think he is.
He's not. Smart
Nobody
enough
pays
to just-
attention because he's Ed Ingram. Because this motherfucker, after forcing a fumble and allowing 6 sacks, this motherfucker, after the game, when asked about his performance, goes, I think I played pretty good. There was maybe 1 or 2 mistakes, but other than that, I think I played really well.
If they do bench Ed Ingram, who steps in? Just
I
out of
don't fucking
curiosity.
care, dude. Put Nick Mullins in at guard. I
Let
promise
me
it's
play
better.
guard. Let me take over a
I
minute.
promise you wouldn't
There's
do
gonna be
worse.
a
You could try to
gonna
do
be-
worse, and you wouldn't.
There's going to be a
I
3-man
would just-
tryout between me, Geek, and Miller for the whatever
And I will
position he
win.
plays.
And
I
then
don't think
whenever
so.
it comes into game, I will simply just.
And the two,
That's still
and the two
doing
people,
more than-
And the 2 people who get cut get locked in a room with Kirk Cousins for 45 minutes.
See, the thing is,
It's not
though,
like it's a bad thing. I'd have fun.
I'm
Kirk and I would
still
harmonize.
positive Dalton
Dude,
Reisner's a
if-
Viking.
If Geek won the job and it was me and Miller just chilling with Kirk Cousins, bro, I don't know what would happen, but that'd be a pretty powerful trio just
That'd
based
be
on
pretty
the
epic.
personalities.
We'd start a.
You'd just start
like
singing.
Yeah,
Or
we'd have to go find a 4th guy, and we could start a barbershop quartet.
While I'm out
True.
there getting absolutely mauled by Kairos Tonga.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, all right, now that you made the team, we're gonna test you on some reps against Daniil Hunter and see how you do. In there.
Hey, we
I
went
don't
back
wanna-
in time and got Jared Allen. Let's see how you hang up.
No, current Jared Allen.
No, they.
Jared Allen
We'll
goes.
smoke him.
Yeah, probably.
He
Dalton
did one
Reisner
time.
flew
Calvin
somewhere.
Rainey. Yeah, he's a bear.
I think it'd be really funny if him and his wife were just going on vacation. He
I
just
don't
took
know.
a picture of the boar.
Look at his own Twitter,
like-
though. What is every tweet he likes and replies to? Not a single thing about the Bears. Only the Vikings.
Dude.
Actually, he did like one tweet about the Bears, buddy. Get your facts right.
Did he?
Yes, he did. 'Cause I remember I made a joke about it on here one time and you got mad at me.
Oh, you're talking about like 10 years ago. So
I'm talking about like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that I wasn't thinking about that. My thought, at least somebody said this. I don't know how accurate it is. I'm going with the thing I heard on Twitter. It's the way contracts work for veterans in the middle of the season. If you sign them before week 1, whatever money you sign them for is fully guaranteed. If it's after week 1, it's not guaranteed at all. I kind of think that might be it. Just like we'll sign you now because if you suck, we can cut you and it costs us nothing. And if you're great, whatever, you get paid.
The biggest takeaway from this is Justin Jefferson, if you're listening, run. Get out while you still can. Do not sign the contract. Go anywhere else. Do not sign the contract.
I don't think that's the takeaway.
Put the pen down.
No, the takeaway here is
Kirk Cousins sucks. That's my takeaway.
I mean, the takeaway is, for the first time in a long time, you get to say Minnesota's offense lost them a game.
Here's the thing.
Which is weird.
My big takeaway...
Brian Flores cooked with that defense, dude. It was actually really good.
My genuine big takeaway from this game is that the Bucs are going to be competitive solely because their defense is better than I thought it was.
Yeah. And Mike Evans is still that guy.
Really well.
I don't know how much of that was their defense, though. Their defense sucked.
Levante David and White played pretty good.
Again, I think the run defense played well, but when the interior offensive line you're going against is nobody.
Elijah Cansey did well against the run.
Oh, dude, he had to go up against Ed Ingram, and he won.
He played, yeah, and got hurt.
Tough.
Yeah, did he?
I don't know.
I don't think he got hurt.
He played.
I don't think he got knocked out of the game. I think he might have been on a snap count.
That would make sense.
No, but yeah, the big thing was just turnovers by Minnesota, setting the Bucs up with short fields constantly,
and not being able to stop what should be a pretty bad Bucs offense from getting consistent first downs to close out the game.
Offense isn't gonna be bad.
No, Baker. If Baker plays like he did yesterday every game, they're gonna be fine.
Exactly. I don't know why it took
Miller
me so
realized
long
I was right.
to realize this.
It's incredible.
No. It took me forever to realize that Canales got hired as their OC. I don't know why I wasn't aware of that right when it happened, but once I found out about that, my entire perspective switched. Nothing to do with Baker, everything to do with Canales. Because I mean, if he made Gino, or not made, but heavily assisted in Gino not writing back, then surely he can help Baker cook.
It's true. It's true.
Wouldn't Baker bake, though?
I hate you.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just gonna move on from that.
What would you do? What would you do if I drove a car through your house?
Use insurance to get a new house.
What if I hit you with the car?
I really don't think that's possible.
It's not possible for me to hit you with a car?
In my house? No.
Is me and Miller are going to figure out where you live.
Next
We're going to
week
drive
on Run the
there.
North, we will test this theory. Can we hit Geek with a car?
No, while in my house that sits up too high, your car would hit.
He's going to be like, oh, dude, where are these guys? And we're going to join the call, and me and Miller are going to be in a Ford F-150. I'm in the passenger seat, Miller's driving.
So these two plan to kill themselves. All right.
Oh.
Okay.
I think what happens against the Falcons may just want to run. Maybe I just want to run a truck through a wall, Geek. Maybe I just want to do that.
All right, man.
Let my anger out, and hopefully I'll survive.
You have no anger. Me and Miller need the box. You want a box?
I have no anger anymore. I only have...
Can there be a Run the North boxing card? It's like you two as the main event, and then it's like Steven versus Jackson or something.
Nice.
And then like
Steven versus Hammy.
versus Hanny, like Jackson versus Tyler. And then like
Miller, you ever been punched
Jared.
in the face?
Grayson versus Jared.
I haven't, no, but I've punched many people in the face.
It's not the same once you get punched in the face.
I'm sure, but for some reason,
I'll have you know, sir.
believe it or not, my ass has been in multiple fights, and for some reason, they never go for my face. It's always my fucking ribs. And it's like, dude, I have extra cushioning down here.
yeah,
What are you thinking?
I'm probably kicking you in the face. Right
And then
off
I'll be like, I'll be the very,
You
very.
get your foot up. I swear to God, that's not me being offensive.
Yes.
That's like impressive for most people.
Yeah.
You can get your foot up that
yeah.
high.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Be the very, very deep undercard, like the first fight that nobody watches, and I'm gonna fight. Who am I gonna fight? Adam Schefter. I'm
Will
gonna
you
fight Adam
fight
Schefter.
one
No,
of those
listen,
fucking Vikings
listen.
fans on Twitter? Will you fight Rick Sosa for me?
The first
He's a
fight
moron. You got him.
has to listen. The first fight has to be between Walter Whiteseal and somebody else.
All right.
Walter White Seal versus
Grayson.
versus Valente.
No, it's got to be Valente and Cass. Although,
True.
do you? Yeah, you've interacted with Cass. He's
A little bit.
done stuff with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Valente versus Cass, and then we'll get the Walter Whiteseal fight. Like,
Can't wait to see
Inner
the. I
demons.
can't wait to see the reaction when we tweet out that these people are fighting each other with no warning.
we're just gonna show up to like Jackson's dorm and with a knapsack to throw over his head, throw him in the back of a bed. He's gonna wake up sitting in one end of a boxing arena with Tyler
Bro
in
is
the other.
planning a kidnapping on a podcast.
Ding,
This is
ding.
terrifying.
Anyway,
He
let's
has
move
no
on
sense
before
of
Miller
humor,
says anything.
folks.
This is the first game that we've talked about where I have zero to say.
Oh.
Just Falcons, like okay.
Bryce
A
Young
game-
looked.
a football game was played, and that's about all I
Bryce
know. I don't
looked
know
rough.
a lick about this game.
Bijan is him. Kyle Pitts
Yeah.
is still underutilized, but made a big play downfield.
Pay
Run
Brian
game
Burns.
Yes, pay Brian Burns. Run game looked sick in Atlanta. Tyler Algier got the bulk of the carries, which was odd, but still ended up working out because Tyler Algier is a pretty sick back. Desmond Ridder looked okay.
Adam Thielen's old. It's almost like
is.
we were right when we talked about how these guys leaving Minnesota isn't going to mean anything because they're not that good anymore.
Mhm.
Hey. Dude can't
Guy's
get
like 4
separation
touchdown passes
against
in week
Jeff
5 or
Okuda.
something.
Right. I don't even think
Okuda
Jeff
didn't
Okuda
play.
played.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I that was the only other.
Also, Jesse Bates is fucking him.
Oh,
Who gets in a
congratulations!
fumble?
You learned. I
Yeah,
remember
no,
having
I-
this argument when he got signed.
I forgot how good
I was
he
on your
okay?
side, Geek.
I know you were.
I was there.
I
But-
I was
forgot.
there. I
My
knew.
bad.
Is
He's
that really
good.
gonna? Does that really move
No.
you? Yeah, Jesse Bates is really fucking good. Well, he was really fucking good.
My bad. I forgot. Excuse me for being not caught up on the Jesse Bates tape. Okay.
I won't excuse you. Because I made the argument he was like a top 5 safety, and you called me crazy.
The opposite of excusing you is that's what I'm doing.
Fuck
don't know
your
what that is.
I'm
excuses,
gonna go
big
fuck
boy.
myself.
But when I find out, you best believe I'm gonna be doing it.
Well, you're
Understand?
not gonna do it because you don't curse. It will be telling me to go fuck myself, and you can't. Physically
No.
cannot.
Can he do it?
No, I cannot.
Aw.
I win.
I'll do it. Go
but,
fuck yourself.
It doesn't mean anything to
think-
you. You tell everybody to go fuck
That's
themselves. You tell the mailman to go fuck himself in the morning.
No. Okay, so we don't have so I don't see the mailman that comes
The
here.
mail woman, the mail person. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
The
to
lady
assume
who
gender
runs
of
the
your
post
mail carrier.
office
Paperboy.
here is
Paperboy.
dumb. She
Sorry if you're listening to this.
I'm not.
I don't think
She
you're dumb.
well, she smokes in the post office, which is 100% illegal.
Based.
And
that.
then she like puts random people's mail in my PO box constantly. And
Gives you
then
the right to
and
open
then
it.
I don't
She's giving you a little surprise.
I don't know, but then she'll randomly send my shit back. She's the dumbest person ever.
She wants to. She's flirting with you. She's trying to keep
Yeah.
you on your toes.
Yeah. She's been hard to get. Don't worry.
I might vomit.
This is
vomit.
a real love story, folks.
I might
Part of
vomit.
the trip for me and Miller is gonna be playing wingman here.
Please
Go to the
don't.
post office and learn everything there is to know about this
But
woman.
unironically, you telling me that story confirms my theory that everyone who runs every post office sucks. Because I have personal
I'm
experience.
not gonna lie.
with
I'm pretty sure
post
my
office
town. I'm not even sure my town has a post office anymore, so I can't attest to this.
shit. My mom worked at the post office, and the dude who ran it was old washed-up alcoholic. That
No,
showed
the
up to work
actual
drunk
lady
all the
who
time.
runs the post office, she's awesome. But she's never there. This is just the lady that works there, and she's.
Alan, she wants you, bro. She wants you.
I don't care if she does. I'm not in. I'm so out.
We don't care if you're in. We're in.
What?
It's like a reality
Wait
show.
a minute now.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Like,
No means no, motherfuckers.
When we knock on his
We
door.
here at Run the North strongly support consent. We
Thank
do
you.
not stand with Jake's comments at this time.
Thank you.
Should do.
No,
it's like,
no, we
you guys
don't.
You guys didn't let me finish. Okay, it's gonna be like a reality show where we knock on his door and we open it. We're like, "Geek, this is your new wife," and he'll have to say yes because he's on camera.
No, I will slam
It's
the
for the
door
content.
and tell you to go
know how
fuck
many views
yourself.
we'll get?
Bro,
You understand how good it'll be for our...
for content.
No,
you know how good
I'm
it'll be
not
for
doing nothing for content. I'm
Brother,
ending
reality
the show.
It's like catching Kelsey, but with Run the North.
Can we do
Oh.
anything else? Can we talk sports ball?
Just bring people into the Discord call,
No.
and we
No. How about those
Cardinals and the
Cardinals, though?
Commanders also played a football game.
Maybe Sam
The
Howell's not
Cardinals-
that guy?
I was not too impressed by him, I will
No.
say.
I was not moved.
I wasn't impressed with the Cardinals' defense. They played pretty well. I knew they would run a game in. The Commanders were pretty,
Bad.
iffy as a whole. I don't think they're going to be all that great this year.
No.
I mean, I think we all have them finishing last in that division, but
Yeah.
I think this more than confirmed my theory that they would pretty easily finish last. Although the Giants are the garbage too. So
Miller, how do we feel about your boy?
I didn't get to watch the game, so I don't
So
actually know. I saw the Cardinals were like in the game because of a weird defensive touchdown,
Their defense was good, man.
which is weird.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't get to watch the game, so I can't really speak on it.
Here's what I can
Unfortunately.
say. Sam Howell threw an interception to Zaven Collins. So that's how good he played.
People,
Listen,
all
man,
right.
David
Listen,
Collins-
people throw interceptions
listen,
to
man.
wacky players all the time.
Not to
To Phil
Zaven
threw an interception to
Collins.
Quay Walker.
Worst players have intercepted the football before.
It's true.
Yeah, better
They won.
I
quarterbacks
think
have
Clay
played for
Walker had an
Washington.
interception this weekend.
That's
Literally
valid.
just
Jake
said that.
just said that.
Literally
I don't
just
care.
said
It was
that.
funnier when I
And
said
also,
it.
he's not that bad of a player, and you know that.
He is. He's also a
He
shitty
is-
person. So
He's
fuck him.
mediocre.
He's mediocre, but he's a bad guy, so we don't
He
like
is.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One athletic trader, and you're just a bad person all around.
Yeah,
You
the
assault
week after,
one person.
yeah, you assault one
you assault
person.
one person, and all of a sudden you're a terrible person.
Show
Like,
me
yeah.
cards, am I right?
Oh my god, Jake is
You get
having a
ejected from
bad
2
week.
games. You get ejected from
Defending
2 games in your
Assault
You
and
get
Fans,
you get
when
it.
two of their defensive players commit literal assault.
You get
That's
ejected
fine.
from 2 games in your rookie year, and all of a sudden you're a bad guy.
yeah.
No ejection this week. I watched the Colts. Anthony Richardson good. Anthony Richardson good at football, and we all knew he would be.
Calvin Ridley is
Just gonna take
fucking
him.
incredible.
Calvin
dude.
Ridley is.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean, dude, this has got to go down as one of the best trades ever, man. Just trading, just throwing a 5th for a guy who everyone was like, "Hey, you
Thank
guys
God
traded for
no one
Calvin
else
Ridley."
traded for a wide receiver at the trade deadline last season.
Yeah.
It's true. If somebody else had, I bet he'd be really lackluster and bad.
I think someone would finally give up on him.
I bet he really just would not have any. I'm pretty sure the guy would just lose all faith in football. But clearly, nobody did that.
Thankfully.
That'd be really stupid if they did.
Do you guys know Tank Bigsby's real name?
He has a real name?
I know that he's stupid.
It's Cartavius.
Why does
That's so much cooler than Tank. Cartavius Bigsby is so much cooler.
That's what's listed
than
on Google. I'm like looking through. I'm like, who the fuck is Cartavius Bigsby?
Cartavius Bigsby. I'm gonna start calling Cartavius.
Touchdown that DeForest Buckner scored is the funniest fucking thing I have ever seen.
It was insane. He picks up the ball. It's literally the Matthew Sponhour thing, but in real life.
Yeah,
like he picked up the ball and he picked up the ball and he looked at it and he's like, "What do I do with this?" And DeForest Buckner just takes it away and
I'll show you. You do this.
It's literally just what would actually happen if Matthew Sponhour tried that in a football game.
Yeah, he wouldn't get tackled. That's mine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, shout out my homie Elbert Martin. Apparently, he played pretty good.
All right.
Anthony Richardson was good. Trevor Lawrence was good. Calvin Ridley was really good.
Trevor Lawrence for MVP, not looking like a bad take. Also, better Josh Allen is fucking incredible. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. I started that 2 years ago. I started calling him better.
Josh Allen train quite a bit.
No, I started calling him better. I started calling him better Josh Allen after the game against the Bills, where he had like 3 sacks and a touchdown and an interception.
The dude just keeps getting better and better and better.
He's better Josh Allen. He's incredible. I love him.
I got called crazy this offseason when I said he can be one of the 5 to 10 best edges in football, and goddamn it, I stand by it.
As of right now, he might be my favorite for defensive player of the year. Like at this very moment.
I don't know. TJ Watt had like 3 sacks and 2 strip sacks.
Yeah. 3 sacks, 10 tackles, a forced fumble. Like, Josh Allen's that guy. 3
sacks and 2 forced fumbles. And a fumble recovery.
And like 3 total tackles. Because all he did was those sacks.
All I know is TJ Watt got me 60 fantasy points. So
the tackle stat means nothing.
Because if TJ Watt could have tackled anybody else, maybe they don't lose by 40.
Lose by 40.
Yes, TJ Watt, who had 3 sacks, was the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers lost.
Yeah.
No, actually, I think
about that game. That's the next game. We don't even talk about it. We know what happened.
I genuinely, I'm not biased at all. I think they lost that game because of Patrick Peterson.
I guess we move into the 49ers Steelers here.
Dude got dogged.
He did. And after saying he was going to school him, he got dogged. Because he's old and slow.
I predict that I will get an interception this week against Brock Purdy, and then just got torched all game.
Yeah. Didn't Brandon Ayuk make fun of it? Or no, it was Purdy that commented on it, didn't he?
Purdy just said, "We'll see," when he said that. And
no, like after the game he said something. It was either him or Ayuk after the game said something.
Ayuk definitely said something. Ayuk went crazy. Ayuk cooked him like every single play.
Dude. Best wide receiver in San Fran.
He was targeted 6 times, gave up 4 catches and 2 tutties. Like, that's not ideal.
Where do you boys rank Ayuk among receivers? Or where would you if I asked you?
I don't know.
I think it's got to be top 15. Like, that game was crazy.
Yeah,
I know it's Patrick Peterson and he's old and slow, but Ayuk was really.
Dude,
and last year he's been the best receiver in San Fran for 2 straight years now.
Yeah.
Most.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. His route running is fucking beautiful. He might be the best.
I forget who it was against last year, but he had one of the most insane.
Said he might be. Justin Jefferson.
Actually, I was going to say Devontae, but all right.
Okay. Invalid.
Fuck
I'll
you.
accept that.
Coach Surtain.
And actually, I mean, don't forget about that guy we were just talking about in the last game. Where's the number 0? He's pretty great.
I love Ridley. I don't think he's a better
Quan Smith isn't a wide receiver.
He's up there, though.
What?
The number 0. Quan Smith was 0.
In the game we just talked about.
Speaking of fucking Roquan Smith, listen, okay?
Okay.
I am so sick and tired of Bears fans still talking. No, we wouldn't have. Our linebackers played fine. I'm so sick of I thought we were done
Maybe
with
if
this
Matt
bullshit,
Nagy
dude.
was calling plays for the Bears, they would have
my God.
At
won.
this point,
Listen,
I mean, at this point,
I'm
hey,
sorry.
listen, hey, save this.
Yeah,
Come
well,
on, push it.
right.
Yeah,
That's why
sorry.
I'm not talking. That's why I'm
Um,
not talking.
Christian
Fernandez is gonna
McCaffrey
blow
is
By the way-
him.
Yeah, McCaffrey's so
But
good.
you know who else is him? You know who else had a fucking sick game?
Fred Warner.
Use check.
Kyle motherfucking Juszczyk. There was a play where he literally blocked 3 different players on a big McCaffrey run, and there was another play where he took Cole Holcomb and put that man 6 feet under. He's like that. So I
Drake
found out today that he has
Jackson had 3 sacks.
Yeah, dude.
Drake Jackson, low-key him.
Yeah, dude.
All right, dog.
Niners are a lot deeper in the pass rush than we thought they were.
So how are we feeling
Maybe
about
we
Kenny
knew it.
Pickett?
I honestly haven't watched him from that game enough to judge. I just kept seeing the McCaffrey and Juszczyk highlights.
Every
I know
time-
he looked scared.
Dude, every
all
time
I've
Red
heard.
Zone would cut to that game, you'd see him throw it 5 yards behind his receiver to a 49er. It's like he thought he was Brock Purdy. Like, oh, Fred Warner, you're wide open. And then Fred Warner dropped multiple interceptions. Bro had the worst day of his life.
I'm
still
gonna
don't
have
like Kenny
to.
Pickett, though.
I actually haven't had a chance to go back and watch any all 22 yet. Like the Bears, I did, but I haven't had a chance to go back and watch any other teams all 22. So I can't say much about
Gotcha.
Pickett. But I did hear a lot of bad things.
It
I
wasn't
heard a lot
hot.
of like, yeah. I mean, he was just. I think I did see he was under pressure. I want to say 58% of his dropbacks.
Yeah,
So, also Matt Canada still exists.
that's fair, but I stand by Matt Canada existing doesn't make him a bad thrower. Him being a bad thrower
well,
makes him a bad thrower.
Sure. But I'm saying, like, in the grand scheme of things,
Right.
the offense not working.
Yeah, that's fair.
Blame Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Man, these breakdowns are how far are we in Geek? Just
We're
right now?
51 minutes in. We need to.
Okay, we gotta get
we need
rolling
to
because we
cut.
still got week 2 predictions to go through too.
Yeah.
This game can be recapped in 3 sentences or 3 points. Ryan Tannehill sucks.
The
Ryan
Saints
Tannehill
aren't that
sucks,
good.
and Ryan Tannehill sucks. I guess Ryan Tannehill sucks twice, and then the Saints aren't that good. It's the third one.
Also,
'Cause you-
Rashid Shaheed is him.
She
Fair.
is him. That's a 4th point.
And actually, the Saints will probably better if we're being honest. As soon as Kamara can play again, let's be.
Kamara looked
real.
good in the preseason. They'll be fine.
Treats are also saying that Pete Werner learned how to cover, which, like, if that's the case, look the fuck out.
Didn't seem to matter
Easy.
because they still struggled
Yeah.
with Ryan Tannehill. So
They also picked him off 3 times. Give them their credit.
right,
Um,
and still barely
he's
won
so
is the
good.
biggest issue. Yeah.
Raiders taking a barely winning games. The Raiders beat the Broncos by a point. The Sean Payton era begins in a loss.
Apparently, Jacoby Myers is Devontae Adams light.
Yeah, those 2 are going to actually be a pretty good receiver in the duo. Jimmy Garoppolo
Was Jimmy
didn't watch
Garoppolo.
much of this game, but he was Jimmy Garoppolo from the box score.
Which is not an insult.
Um,
It's not a compliment, but it's also not an insult.
It's a pat on the back.
This game we blame on Will Lutz, if we're being honest. A missed extra
missed a
point
kick?
and a missed field goal. You leave 4
He-
points on the
he
board
cost
when you lose
them
by 1
at
is
least
bad.
overtime.
You
and
traded for
probably
a
win.
kicker, and he lost you your game in week 1.
Let's not pretend Brett Maher would have won them the game.
True.
Kickers don't deserve rights.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, listen, we're gonna take up the next hour of the show just talking about this. If you say that again, please just take it back or stop speaking immediately. Do one of those 2 things right now, Miller.
Most important thing about this game, Russ might be able to cook again.
You can speak
Russ
again.
looked
You're
pretty
I
good.
think you're done insulting kickers, unless you're not.
He better be.
Give me a nod. Are you done insulting kickers, Miller? Let him speak. I'm getting sick of this.
Yeah, talk.
speak.
Russell Wilson. That's what I know. We're moving on to the next game. All right. Russell Wilson kind of cooked. Might
Those
be
Patriots.
good if
Okay,
he
now
gets
I can talk
a
again.
real receiver back, because having only Cortland
That was
Sutton
good.
is tough.
Eagles Patriots sloppy from the Eagles, but they got the dub still. Pouring rain in Foxborough against a good Patriots defense. Don't necessarily blame them too much. They still got the W. So
If Mac Jones had the arm strength of a high schooler, they win this game. The dude cannot put any juice on a pass. The last throw, funnily enough, to Kayshon Boutte, if Mac Jones can, actually put any juice behind it, it probably doesn't end up out of bounds. But he floats it, and it just travels for 10 seconds every play because dude has the weakest arm in football. It is awful. Because it's...
Henry caught a one-handed catch, though, so, who cares?
Fair enough. I care because I wanted the Eagles to lose at that point because I wanted people to not talk about the Vikings and to talk about the Eagles.
So, can we settle down on Jalen Carter a little bit?
No.
I'm not saying he's bad, but his numbers were very inflated this week. He played against fucking 2 backup guards that were 5th-round picks. Let's chill a little bit.
Okay, go watch the plays. And his numbers were very inflated. He had a sack.
I meant the pressure numbers. He had 7 pressures or some shit.
Yeah, but look at what they were. It's not. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but also let's not rag on the guy because you're sick of Bears fans being like, we fucked up.
If you're going to be,
kind of just mad at Jalen Carter.
If you're going to be a top tier pass rusher in the NFL, you have to do what Jalen Carter did against a bad offensive line.
Yeah.
Sure.
Any of the elite defensive tackles you put against that line are going to do the same exact thing. Right?
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I want to see him against real football players before we start.
That won't happen
this week. True. It's because he's a rookie. It won't happen this week. They're playing the Dolphins.
Right.
No.
That's my point.
This week they're playing the Vikings.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about the Patriots. My bad. The Patriots playing the Dolphins.
My point with that is I'm not trying to say anything negative about Jalen Carter. He had a hell of a game. Props to him.
Yeah.
For the sake of narratives and going crazy over, this guy should have been the number 1 overall pick or whatever the fuck. Let's pump the brakes. Just wait until he plays a real offensive line, and then we can start having those conversations.
That all confuses me. I mean, to be fair, at least he'll play. No, I can't say it. Depends on which side he lines up.
I also don't want it to sound like I'm rooting against Jalen Carter. I'm not. I want him to be good. I'm rooting like hell for him. I want him to prove everybody that was like, he's lazy and sucks wrong because he's a fun player to watch.
No, but
still,
that's the thing. So on Twitter, he Bears fans are mad because you passed on him, and I get it to a degree, but also that was the point. If Jalen Carter was this sure thing, we all knew the talent was there. If he was this sure thing, no matter what, he's going to be perfect. He wouldn't have fell to where the Bears were anyways.
Precisely.
The Seahawks and Lions would have jumped all over that.
If he even made it that far.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think he would have.
Him over Will Anderson.
Oh, that's fair. I forgot. Well, maybe.
Legend was good. Yeah.
I'll put it this way.
Traded so much. Well, that's fair. If he was just.
If they had no issues off the field, if Jalen Carter was just freak athlete, Houston wouldn't have passed on him. There's no chance in hell.
Probably fair, actually.
I mean, with the way the league is trending now, a dominant 3-tech is just as important as a dominant edge. And
feels like it.
Specific defenses, yeah. You look at, actually, maybe not with the 49ers. Theirs is a little bit different because never mind, they had Javon Hargrave last year.
Well, no.
Hargrave, Armstead, whoever.
Hargrave is this year. The Niners.
Right.
They've had Armstead forever, though.
Right. Brain broke for a second.
And DeForest Buckner before that.
Well, but my point was D'Amico wasn't running the defense when Buckner was there.
True.
I was trying to think about who was there with him.
Armstead.
And Eric Armstead's fine, but he's not like a game breaker. Right. The point is D'Amico's coached defenses without a game-breaking 3-tech before, so maybe not. But I do think if I was in Houston shoes and Jalen Carter was a surefire zero-issue prospect, I would have taken him over Will Anderson. But the point is we need to settle down a little bit, just a little bit. I know it's week 1 overreactions, but
dude, well, it is week 1 overreactions. Remember, the Vikings now need to trade Cuzzo because the season's over.
Which no, because
maybe the Jets aren't trading that first to Green Bay now, so I guess they're sending that to Minnesota. Sick.
Yeah, for Jaron Hall.
Oh, all right.
And they're gonna win the Super Bowl, and then you'll have to trade that pick away.
Yeah. So we can go get Caleb.
No, you have to trade it to me.
No.
Not the Bears. Me. I will be making a selection in the draft. And whoever the 32nd pick is will come to work for me.
I decline. But yeah.
Can't decline.
I
I turned 4 straight on.
I don't know what happened to the Seattle Seahawks.
I'll tell you what happened to the Seattle Seahawks. Matthew Stafford happened.
Yeah,
Also,
Jake refuses to apologize because he's a little bitch. I demand an apology. Or you get the fuck off this show. It's not an overreaction.
What else happened to the Seattle Seahawks? Puka motherfucking Nakua.
True. Real quick,
BYU
though,
legend.
Why are you out on Stafford? Because of an overreaction? So you're just keeping with your original overreaction. He's out on Stafford. He hates Stafford.
I'm not out on Stafford. That's not true.
You won't acknowledge that he's good.
Level of play is sustainable at his age with his injury history.
So why did you think Rodgers could play well? Because Rodgers is like 8 years older.
The way you snapped back was fucking perfect.
I don't care about Matthew Stafford. I'm not talking about him. I couldn't care less. I still don't
Stafford
think he's
looked great.
Stafford made Tutu Atwell look like an NFL receiver, dude.
Yeah,
Tutu Atwell had like 119 yards.
Yeah.
So did
Stafford made him look like a real NFL receiver.
Because
also Cooper Kupp's washed. The Rams don't need him anymore, and Puka Nakua is better.
Trade Cooper Kupp and just run with Puka Nakua.
Trade Cooper Kupp to Chicago for Chase Claypool. That way you can give even more targets to Puka because Claypool standing out there does nothing.
Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford for Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. Who says no?
Everyone?
KOC gets his QB back.
No.
KOC gets to coach his guy again. They win the Super Bowl.
I stand by. I'm ready to just draft a guy, man. I don't want another old guy.
I didn't do it.
Can have I don't know who's like the most mediocre, overrated white quarterback in college right now. That's a winner. Are there any of those right now? Yeah, but you can get Bo Nix.
Bo Nix isn't a winner though.
Oh, he's not, but he's the most mediocre white overrated quarterback right now. Cade McNamara.
No, isn't that
Cade McNamara? You can have Cade McNamara.
Wouldn't it? I'm gonna be that guy. Wouldn't it be Quinn Ewers? He's played like 2 games in his life.
Quite a winner yet, though.
He just beat Alabama.
He's not a winner yet.
He's won every game he started.
An winner.
He's won every game he started.
Minnesota Vikings quarterback. He beat Alabama. That's I need to know. He's a winner.
That's all. That's all that's written on the. That's all that's written on the draft board.
Vikings are going to get the #1 overall pick, and they're going to take Quinn Ewers.
Miller's going to feel awful when Drake May's a Viking.
I will feel nothing. Because I'll just be like, hey, look, it's another Trubisky. And then I will be the champion.
You mean another Sam Howell? #bust.
No, Trubisky #bust.
So these will be the draft notes for the Vikings. The Alabama ones.
Valid.
That's all they need to know.
Real.
But yeah.
All right, I want to hear you two talk about this game.
Was good.
I'm ready. I want to hear
that game. Dolphins Chargers.
Tua with tattoos is the best quarterback in football.
466 yards again.
Tua better than
last year. He had
Mahomes? No, probably. I'm just kidding.
Probably. No. This was a great game. This is an overall very good game. Tyreek Hill went insane. Justin Herbert was good. They just got to be good in 2-minute offense. That's all they got to do.
What they need to do is
Brendan Staley. That could work.
That also, J.C. Jackson is the greatest Dolphins player of all time.
I was gonna say, J.C. Jackson was really
dumbest
bad until he wasn't.
Motherfucker, dude.
He got a PI call on a
Hail Mary.
Because
it was blatant. Because he ran over and tackled the dude before the ball was halfway to him. I don't understand.
Here's the situation. Tua throws a ball into quadruple coverage at like the Chargers 10 is where this ball is going to land, and everybody else is just away from the receiver and like giving him his space, and then J.C. Jackson just comes flying in and decks him as the ball gets there and puts them in.
Hey, listen.
Let's the Dolphins get a field goal before
halftime.
The refs can't call what they don't see. He just didn't know the lights were on.
Yeah, because up here, his lights aren't on. I don't know what's happening.
Didn't he have an interception?
Quote J.C. Jackson.
I don't care.
Didn't throw. Did he?
I'm just saying,
He
like,
threw
that's really
a pick,
funny.
and it was to J.C. Jackson.
It's really funny.
But he's still the best Dolphin in the league. He does play.
And if they had capitalized off of that pick, I'm pretty sure that they would have won the football game. So, man, J.C. Jackson did all he could. Herbert sold. This is crazy.
The real
dude.
deciding factor in this game is the fact that the Dolphins have Ingold and the Chargers cut Xander Horvath for like fucking Tanner Muse.
No, River Craycraft
is
is the thing.
Signed him.
Horvath?
Yeah.
He's on Pittsburgh's practice squad right now.
Okay, he'll be starting for them soon. By
At halfback.
their Hayward brother.
Maybe because Najee.
He will. Everybody gangsta till Pittsburgh whip out the 2 fullback formation with Connor Hayward
Hayward and
Xander Horvath at tailback. It's over for the league at that point.
But not this one.
I'm gonna sit back. I don't have anything to say. You two go
I want to
ahead.
point out, by the way, going into this, Jake did think the Packers were going to lose, so all this victory lapping is
That's
total
true.
hindsight bias.
Yep.
I mean, you can pick your team to lose and then be happy when they win.
No, but you're
I
gonna
know, I'm just
victory
trying
to-
lap like they're
ridiculous
the
thing I've
best
ever
team
heard.
in football.
I know. I'm just
I
trying
am
to take
not
the
going
wind
to
out of
say
your
that.
sails before you get going.
Okay.
I'm being an A1 hater.
2 things.
Which is valid.
First of all,
fuck the Packers.
should have known this was gonna happen. I cannot believe I didn't stick with my gut and didn't pick them. Should have done it. I had the instinct. Didn't do it. I should have done it. I would be on top of the leaderboard right now. Things would be great. Things would be great. Second of all, chill on Jordan Love a bit. Okay,
Ooh.
I'm a Packers fan, but let's give this guy more than one game against one of the worst defenses in football.
He,
Okay, let's calm
as
down.
Brett Coleman explained, he drove the bus. He did just
Drove the
enough.
bus, and that's all I needed to do. I hope that as the year goes on, he becomes better than that, and he kind of elevates his level, his level of play. And he's going to have to if they're going to beat some better teams. But overall, I really like the Packers defense, despite the play calling they were facing. I know it wasn't good, but still, I like the defense. Devontae Wyatt was really good against the Bears' offensive line. I get it, but I saw some flashes in Devontae Wyatt that I liked. Quay Walker had the pick 6. He had a good return off of that. I liked the way the defense played. Still don't like Joe Barry that much, but I love the special teams. They're playing fantastic coverage. I think that Rich Bisaccia, who I believe is still there, is, even if he isn't, like, the effect he had last year on this special teams completely turned them around, and that was a big factor in this game, is the Bears couldn't get it returned for anything. And
I wouldn't call it a big factor.
okay, you wouldn't call what Rich Bisaccia did for this team a big factor for their special teams being the way
I'm
it is?
saying the Bears not being able to get a return. I wouldn't call that a big factor. Give Bisaccia his flowers. He's great. I'm saying I think that's like at the very bottom of the list of reasons why Chicago lost.
Reason why Chicago lost. Number 1, Justin Fields. I'm just kidding. No. But overall, no. Packers really impressed me. Played a lot better than I thought they would. Romeo did a good job. Love was sharp. Again, he drove the bus, but that's all he really had to do. And Andrews Carlson, shout out to that guy. Made a good kick. I did not think he'd be that good. But yeah, like I said, the Packers really impressed me. They made me a very happy man on Sunday. It always feels good beating the Bears, no matter how they do it. And so, yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not going to overreact too much. It is week 1, and they'll probably lose to the Falcons next week because the run defense is going to be the run defense. But, feels good to be 1-0. And, yeah, I mean, very happy.
First of all, I just want to say that Quay Walker pick 6 is going to be the most overplayed highlight ever.
Probably.
Because he would not have returned that pick if literally anyone in Chicago not named Roshan Johnson gave any effort. Roshan was actually no. Justin tried on that play too after the pick.
Didn't Darnell Wright end up blowing him up at the end of the play?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like,
yeah, but you're expecting a 300-pounder to chase him down 60 yards.
I'm not saying that.
But he
I'm not
didn't give any
saying that.
effort.
Oh my god, he ran in a straight line. I love Darnell. I was happy with Darnell. Can you let me fucking talk?
No.
Yeah. Why don't you shut your mouth? You lost too. You lost to a worse football team, so.
Bro is so angry. because just like when I talk, he talks over me. So I have to say one thing and
you are the
scream.
ones who ended up fighting during the talk of
Jesus
this
Christ.
Listen,
I know,
okay.
you're mad because you expected the Bears to be great and it was a bad game, but chill.
I expected the Bears to care. That's what I expected.
Jesus.
I expected them to care. Like, okay, for example, on that pick, you know who I'm most pissed off at on that play specifically?
On Fields because he threw a bad
Cole
pick.
fucking Kmet.
Ooh.
My favorite player on this football team. If you watch on that pick, he had a clear shot at Quay Walker, and he pulled out the most Eddie Jackson looking fucking tackle I have ever seen in my life. Homeboy went and completely missed. It was fucking pathetic.
Effect is real, man.
There was no effort on the play whatsoever. Shout out to Roshan Johnson, who I don't like the way he initially tried to tackle, but at least he tried. I would have liked to see him get his arms up, but he's a halfback. His tackling form's not going to be perfect. But then he chases Quay Walker all the way down the fucking field. And sure, Darnell Wright lit him the fuck up, made him regret running back the pick. That's great. Shout out Darnell Wright. I hope those athletic traders get in contact with him because he did them a fucking favor. He got Quay Walker back because Quay Walker, fuck you. You're a shitty person, and you deserve to get laid out by Darnell Wright. That play from Fields was inexcusable. It was absolutely terrible. He stared down Mooney the entire fucking time and then tried to throw it in double coverage. Okay, any linebacker on this planet could have made that play. Okay, like, I will take as much credit away from Quay Walker and Quay Walker only. The rest of the Packers defense did look really good. Fuck Jair Alexander, though. He's a punk. What else? Okay, looking at the Bears, like the actual Bears, right? Luke Getsy's a moron. I'm almost convinced he's still on Green Bay's payroll after that game. And it's not just because of the screen passes, but like if you actually look at his passing concepts, they were atrocious for a solid 85% of the game. And that's not to say that all the blame is on him. The blocking wasn't there. Braxton Jones had 3 unnecessary penalties, which is so uncharacteristic of him. Cody Whitehair, it was okay, I guess. Lucas Patrick sucked. Nate Davis looked like a guy who hadn't practiced all offseason, which he hasn't. Which I'm not going to put too much blame on him because apparently there was a lot of stuff going on like off the field for him, which is why he hasn't practiced. So I'm not going to like berate the guy over that. Darnell Wright, when he wasn't going against Rashawn Gary, looked fine. I was very okay with how he played. Chase Claypool, I'll come back to. DJ Moore looked good. He got open more times than he actually got targeted, which was a Fields thing. It looks like he's just fucking scared to rip the ball. Mooney looked good. Roshan Johnson looked awesome. He is the best back in Chicago by a country mile. Deontay Foreman looked good. Khalil Herbert was fine. But Chase Claypool, listen, I have been the biggest Claypool defender on the planet. I was such a fan of the trade. I thought the guy just needed a change of scenery. I thought he would be good in Chicago. I ignored all the red flags in the offseason because I was like, it's just an adjustment. He's not quite there yet. What I saw Sunday, is the most piss poor excuse for a game of football by a single player I have ever fucking seen. It wasn't because he played bad. It wasn't because of the drops. It was from a sheer lack of effort. I have never seen a human being stand on a football field and just clearly not want to be there more than Chase Claypool was. It was fucking pathetic. Whether it was him trying to block, whether it was him not finishing a route, whether it was him reacting to a scramble drill, he did nothing. He was a genuine net negative on the football field, and I think he only got targeted twice. It was pathetic. Cole Kmet, as much as I love him, and I think this is a very uncharacteristic thing from him, and I expect him to bounce back, his effort was also non-existent. There were a lot of routes that he didn't finish. He was jogging on some routes. There were a couple plays where he was asked to do very, very difficult things by Luke Getsy, and he just couldn't execute. Kari, I didn't see on the field nearly enough because we should have been running the ball way more than we did. But when he was on the field, they were splitting him out wide, which I'm a fan of. Get creative with it. Wasn't nearly enough, right? The ways they were trying to get creative with him didn't work. There were a couple plays where they were asking him to do superhuman things. And then Fields, I watched the QB School hour-long film breakdown right before I came on here. And it confirmed a lot of the things I was scared of when I was personally watching the tape. Because I won't lie, I'm not a quarterback expert. I'm not, going to pick up on every little nuance of everything. But there were a lot of plays where I was watching, I was like, ooh, Justin should have pulled the trigger there. Ooh, he had a guy open there and he took the check down. Ooh, he did this, ooh, he did that. And it was all confirmed for me. And I don't think it's the end of the world because of how much pressure he was under on Sunday. Like, it was ridiculous to the point where he was just trying to get the ball out. But I need to see improvement there, obviously. And then defensively, it was a shit show. I mean, the defensive line was terrible. Yannick had a sack, but he was almost a non-factor. Justin Jones, after running his fucking mouth, did nothing. Andrew Billings looked good against the run. I was happy with him. The other defensive ends did nothing. Javon Dexter, there was at least effort there, which made me really happy. He didn't get on the field a lot. They got on the field very little, but when they were on the field, they were trying their asses off, so props to them. I love that. Edmonds and Edwards are getting way more shit than they should. Like, listen, okay? That dumb fuck from Stay Hot, Theo Ash, he needs to keep my fucking team's name out of his mouth. I'm sick of the bullshit he has said.
Only play that you can even close to negatively fault TJ Edwards for is the 4th and 3 touchdown. But again, that's one of the best receiving backs in football.
He got rounded up by Aaron Jones. It happens. I'm not
basically
I'm not
a receiver.
Happy with it. I'm not happy with it, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not blaming the game on him for that.
Yeah, dude.
And then Edmonds looked fucking awesome. Like, he had 2 or 3 TFLs. He was flying to the ball.
He was the only guy in the Bears that legitimately scared me when Packers took the field.
But no, because Jordan Love hit a couple throws over the middle. They're the reason why the Bears lost. Dude,
Tremaine Edmonds even anywhere near those throws? I don't understand it, man.
Here's the crazy thing about the Bears defense, right? We do this thing where we put our linebackers in zones. Yeah, we do this crazy thing where we put our linebackers in zones, right? And if you know anything about the modern NFL, if you're a linebacker or any player in a zone, you need to guard players, not grass, right? So there's going to be times where you're in a zone and you trail with somebody. Tremaine Edmonds did a decent bit of that. And you can't fault him for that because that's what he's told to fucking do. That's how you're supposed to play the fucking position. But clearly, Mr. Theo Ash doesn't know that. Understand it. And I'm so sick of him running his mouth. Like, I get it. You're a Packers fan. Bears fans give you a ton of shit throughout the offseason. I totally understand that. I totally understand taking a victory lap. But making shit up, just pointing fingers where they don't need to be pointed, is ridiculous.
That's all he does.
I know.
Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be letting you talk, but I'm mad at Theo's existence right now.
Yeah.
Because every time he talks about the Vikings, he just
go, what, 4-13?
Well, but he just lies constantly about it.
Also coming after polls. I know you probably
that's another thing.
Polls and everybody's after polls and Quessy for some reason. I might want to go back to the Vikings for a minute.
Yeah, but listen, I understand being a fan of a team and having biases, right? I'm not perfect. I fully understand that. But if you want to be considered professional and be taken seriously, there comes a point where you have to be honest with yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Bears got straight up outclassed. They got outcoached. They got outplayed. Jordan Love looked good. Romeo Doubs looked good. The defensive line looked good. There were so many players in Green Bay that looked good. And I will admit that. Now that the anger and the pain has subsided. Right. And again, I understand part of it because of how fucking loud and obnoxious Bears fans are. You can't make shit up. Just be like, dude, if you really want to get under Bears fans' skin, just post the fucking throws Fields missed. Yeah. Just fucking post Eddie Jackson looking lost in coverage. Post anything else. Don't say these linebackers that had a good game were actually the reason they lost.
Well, it's so because he has to hold his narrative that those two weren't that good. So it was a mistake to sign them.
He's been on the whole
ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Dude, get off Roquan's dick. It's so annoying. I genuinely can't stand it. I hate running my mouth about other people that make content because I'm not a bitch. I'm not a punk. I would say this to his face. If we had Theo on this podcast right now, I would happily say it to his face. Oh my God, to a certain extent, you gotta chill. Okay? There were a billion things you can point to in that game that the Bears did fucking wrong. Don't point at one of the 2 things that went right. The only things that went right for Chicago were their linebacker play, Roshan Johnson, Darnell Wright, and Tyreek Stevenson. That was it. Tyreek Stevenson, by the way, looked awesome. I'm so happy with him. He was playing physical. He was playing scrappy. Eddie Jackson played like shit. I mean, yeah, he did get fucking... Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
And Dubs is what, 3 inches taller than him and had leverage on him? Like, it happens. It's not the end of the world. Sauce Gardner got fucking mossed by Chase Claypool his rookie year. I don't care.
That doesn't bother me. Last night too, but yeah, we'll talk about
that. The other thing, like, it's the weird week 1 overreactions. Because people are doing this thing where suddenly nothing from that game. I'm going back to the Vikings for a second. I didn't spend enough time here.
That's understandable.
Kirk's perfect, apparently. Because remember, the throw to KJ Osborne that got picked is all apparently KJ Osborne's fault, even though it was behind him, way off time. He had to turn with his arms out like this, and a corner ran through him and got the ball. But that's KJ Osborne's fault. Now, to a certain degree, I get it. If the ball hits your hands, you should catch it. But let's not pretend it was a perfect throw. And then the second fumble wasn't his fault. Antoine Winfield just made a play. You literally watched him run at you. Go down. Hold the ball, go down. Don't let him rip it from you. Grow the fuck up. And every single incompletion he had was inside the red zone, targeting the end zone, to wide open receivers, and he just missed. Kirk wasn't the only problem in that game, but if he would have been able to hit a couple more throws, it doesn't matter. But he missed a few big plays. The offensive line worries me. Andrew Norwell, Dalton Reisner, Rodney Hudson, they're all free agents. Let's get all 3. I want all 3. I want all 3. I don't think one's enough. Get Ezra Cleveland, get Garrett Bradbury, and get Ed Ingram the fuck off my field. It is bad.
Yeah.
Well, we are 2 games out of finishing our week 1 breakdown.
Well, I didn't get to finish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, listen, I just want to say a couple more things, right? Specifically because Geek brought up polls, right? Or Jake brought up polls.
Yeah.
Ryan Poles is doing a fine job. Has he been perfect? No. He missed on Claypool. He missed on Bayless Jones.
Both our GMs are bad.
Fully acknowledge this. Neither one is
That's
bad.
how it works.
Neither one's done.
No, 3 of our GMs are bad.
Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth are the worst picks of all time, and Kwesi doesn't have a single good draft pick, even though, who were our 4 best players yesterday? Outside of, like, JJ. Oh, Jordan Addison, Ivan Pace, Mekhi Blackman.
Ingram.
Well, not Ingram.
Right.
Mekhi Blackman was awesome. And Andrew Booth and Lewis Cine are just injured, dude. We got to chill out. And the thing that bugs me with Cine, well, he's like the 4th safety on their depth chart. Do you want to take out Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus, who looked awesome, just because Cine was a first-round pick? That's not how that works.
Was he a first-round pick?
Yeah, he was pick number 32.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I always associate him with being an early second.
Because he was pick 32.
Right. I get you.
But yeah, because Booth was the early second guy. Because we traded 11 for 32 and 34 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's ridiculous to me. Like, the thing that everyone's pointing at polls for is he spent money on linebackers and he didn't spend money on the defensive line and he spent money on offense. Like, this was not meant to be a 2-year rebuild.
No.
Ryan Pace had this roster in complete and utter disarray with a shit ton of dead cap and no real layout. Ryan Poles inherited it. He said, okay, we're going to spend year 1 getting all of that out. Year 2 is building up the offense and making sure Fields is the guy. We're going to give him all the assets you need. Trade for DJ Moore. You draft Darnell Wright. You sign you sign a running back. You draft a running back. You traded for Claypool, which obviously didn't work. You extend Kmet, all that good stuff, right? That's what this year is about. We knew the defense was going to be bad. This should not be news to anybody. I know a lot of people were talking themselves up, being like, well, if you actually go back and look at Matt Eberflus's defense, his edge rushers have never been that good. Like, yeah, Sure, but he also had a monster 3 tech in DeForest Buckner, and we simply do not have that.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Dexter, if he can get his shit figured out, maybe he can be that, and maybe that's their plan. But we're not there yet.
But he's a rookie.
We still have another offseason.
And he's not Jalen Carter.
Right.
Like he was like he wasn't viewed as Jalen Carter. I'm not like you know what I mean.
I get what you mean, yeah. Right. So a big reason why the Bears got beat on Sunday is because they gave Jordan Love all day in the pocket, and that's not a slight at Love. It's just you give any quarterback in the NFL all day in the pocket, eventually they're going to hit an open receiver. Yeah. It's the sport. Yeah. Especially, I haven't seen anybody talk about this when the entire secondary is disjointed. Everybody, especially Eddie Jackson, are just playing out of position and didn't look comfortable. I don't know if it's a chemistry thing, because I saw a lot of guys just passing guys off. So maybe like they were,
I blame
they were
the
assuming the guy
Kyler
behind them would
Gordon
have them.
I blame the injury.
That also sucks. I didn't realize he got hurt in that game as early as he did, because I stopped paying attention to the secondary like halfway through the first quarter. So once I went back and I was like, oh, Kyler Gordon did not play in like 3/4 of this game. That also helped. I'm saying like a lot of the sideline shots were clearly like the Bears sitting in soft ass cover 2 zone, which I have my issues with, but that's just how this defense is ran, so I got to live with it. And it would be one of the corners trying to pass off to Eddie Jackson, and Eddie Jackson's just looking at it like, what do I do with this? You cover. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the whole reason you have a contract. You can't fucking tackle. You can't defend the run. So cover something. He didn't even do that. So it blows my mind. And then the Bears, crazy concept. This is not meant to be an aggressive defense. It's very much in the Tampa 2, bend, don't break. I understand that. But there was one play that stood out to me. We're on 3rd down. They sent a nickel blitz. And guess what happened on that 3rd down? They forced Jordan Love to throw into double coverage because he was pressured, made a mistake. They were almost able to pick the ball off. Now, Eddie Jackson swatted it, so it wasn't a pick, but you still forced the turnover. You still made him punt. But like, it's almost like crazy concept, I know. Making adjustments on defense makes your defense better. It throws the other offense off. It gives you some sort of advantage. It gives you the element of surprise. It's almost like 31 other coordinators in the NFL have this figured out, and for some reason, Alan fucking Williams has no idea what he's doing. It blows my mind. I'm not somebody who likes to overreact and call for people's heads after a week of football, but I would not have been shocked nor upset if I found out Luke Getsy and Alan Williams were no longer employed by the Chicago Bears Monday morning. Blows my mind just how incompetent those two were. And I know I went on a crazy rant, but let's be real here. That's what people were the most excited about for this, is me losing my shit. Because that's the entertaining thing of the week. Miller has a mental breakdown. Because that is what has been happening all week. I am not okay.
My mental breakdown already happened, and I've completely faded into delusion already again. So I'm cooking.
Oh no, dude,
I'm cooking. You're not gonna love what I have to say here in a bit. You guys are going to go insane.
I have to say either.
I'm going to put the Vikings against the Eagles on Thursday night.
Yeah. I'm going to be right, though, and you'll see why.
Surely primetime Kirk will break through this time.
Kirk is only ever bad on Monday Night Football. It's not prime time
Kirk ever played on Thursday night?
I don't know.
Never, not once in his long career.
Well, we definitely played against the Patriots last year, where Cuzzo looked awesome.
Right. That game did have.
How was Giants? Jones bad. Cowboys good. Their
the
defense
Giants
is really good.
might not win a game. Like, if that's how they look all year, they're awful. Daniel Jones looked afraid of everything.
I mean, yeah.
The Cowboys were in the rain too.
Micah Parsons coming at him. Dak Prescott didn't throw for any touchdown passes and only threw for 150 yards.
Okay, the Cowboys team also played in the rain. Saying the rain only affects the Giants is confusing.
It's not what I said.
But that's...
That it was rainy in MetLife.
Yes.
It affected the Giants. It affected only the Giants.
Daniel Jones is awful.
And we all knew that. My favorite thing to come out of this game is how hard Micah Parsons is trying to convince people that he's not awful, so the Giants keep him, and he gets to play him twice a year every year. Like, Micah is licking his chops.
I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Guys, Daniel Jones really
did
moved
so
the needle
many
for me
good
this week.
things. But yeah,
Because
not
he's
much to talk
afraid
about.
if
Absolute
Tyrod
blowout.
Taylor plays, the Giants might be a playoff team again.
Cowboys defense might be the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody predicted that the Cowboys are going to be really fucking good, and people called me crazy.
Literally all had them.
I know, but I made a TikTok that got like 8,000 views, and people crucified me for it.
During our preseason prediction, I literally predicted them to be the best team in football.
Yeah, and I had them at like 12-5 or 13-4. But yeah. Bills Jets. I don't want to talk about it.
The game was on crack.
Weird, stupid game. Rodgers hurt. Zach Wilson wins football game.
No, let's be honest. The Jets did not win that game. Josh Allen lost that game. No, let's be real. What's his name? Jordan Whitehead won that game.
It was good.
Dude, he
just want to say,
actually got a bonus on his contract just from this game.
If you were a real one, you were in that Twitter space where me, Jackson, and Miller all said that we didn't think Josh Allen was QB2. We had Burrow, and some of us, even Herbert, had Herbert above him. And people call us crazy. People call this crazy, and here we are.
See, this is what happens because no sports fans watch the Scuffed As podcast, where I literally said Josh Allen was 5. Or no, I might have had him at 6 because I put Lamar and Jalen Hurts ahead of him. Because fuck Josh Allen.
Burrow.
I just want to say, I think this game on the Bills' end was just God cursing them for not dressing Damar Hamlin.
Fair, honestly.
Was he a healthy scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought he got hurt in practice or something.
Yeah, how are you not going to dress Damar Hamlin for that game?
It's crazy.
Yeah, you needed to have him out there on the first play.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Haley Steinfeld, if you're watching, just want to let you know, I'm single. I haven't thrown 4 interceptions in a primetime football game and lost 2.
There was Josh Allen.
Wilson.
3. It was 3.
I haven't 4 turnovers
and a fumble
in a primetime game. And I haven't lost to Zach Wilson. My Twitter is @MillerFootball_. I have tagged you in many things. Hit me up. Let's work something out.
By the way, Jake, when was Sauce cooked?
Every time
Diggs caught the ball, Reed was guarding him. Every time it would go to the last 2 drives, every time Diggs went
literally a stat came out. First 4 targets on him, he got it was all 4 of them. It wasn't just Diggs. All 4 of them were caught for 52, 62 yards. Cooked, but he had a very shaky start to his.
No one cares about Sauce Gardner. Can we talk about the real best rookie from that class? The real best rookies from that class.
You're gonna say something really dumb. I'm not.
Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall.
Oh,
both looked fucking awesome.
I just can't wait for Breece Hall to get the long speed back. He'll be unstoppable.
Dude, Breece Hall was insane. Also, again, I have to victory lap a little bit. Dalvin Cook looks slow as dirt. Oh my God.
Should not be getting many more snaps. I mean, there's no reason.
I have to victory lap that because everybody was telling me we were idiots because Dalvin's still really good. No, he's not.
I never said that. I said he was washed.
I didn't say you, but the internet as a whole.
Speaking of Dalvin, I just want to say I didn't notice it until last night because I was watching with my dad, and he pointed out not just that, but him and his brother run almost identical.
Yeah,
it's insane.
One's just younger.
Well, I'm saying they both have that really. They both have that really choppy, stride to them where. Not quite Isaiah Pacheco, they want to hurt the ground, but just real quick feet. Yeah. They don't do a whole lot of dancing. It's really crazy how identical they are. Yeah. I remember I was watching with my dad, and I told him Dalvin Cook's brother was playing, and I accidentally said Dalvin Cook was on the Bills, and he was like, "Wow, Dalvin Cook looks really good." And my dad would be able to tell the difference. Like I said, he's obsessed with the way superstar running backs run. He could tell you just from somebody's footwork who somebody is. It's like, wow, Dalvin looks really good tonight. And I was like, no, that's his brother. I was like, well, they're the same fucking player.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
literally
look the same.
From the waist down and the neck up, they look like the same football player.
Yeah, it's just a
crazy.
number. One of them's wearing 4 and one of them's wearing 33.
And one of them is, like you guys said, a lot quicker than the other.
One's got some juice and one doesn't anymore. And it's sad.
Also, shout out Quincy Williams for being a fucking hooper.
Williams was super good. Yeah.
Also, I hate the Jets for having like 8 edge rushers that would start in Chicago. Give me one, please.
The Jets' defensive line is insane.
They also might have the best defense in football.
I would give up a second.
Would give anything for Aaron to still be playing next week because Jets Cowboys would have been so awesome. Zach Wilson's gonna die.
Cinema.
It's over. Geek, little time check before we get to week 2 picks.
We gotta cook.
We're gonna do a little rapid fire week 2 picks here. Vikings Eagles.
I'm letting you guys go first because I have things to say.
I don't really have to explain much. I'm huge on Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, everybody. I'll take them.
Yeah. I will also be taking the Eagles that reside in Philadelphia simply because I want to be right when Geek is wrong.
So I'm taking the Vikings. Just so everybody knows, Nakobe Dean, Reed Blankenship, James Bradbury, Fletcher Cox, and Kenny Gainwell all probably are not playing. Dude, half of their defensive starters aren't going to play.
Dylan Carter, but Dylan Carter versus Ed Ingram.
Terrell Edmonds.
I don't care. Dude, they almost lost to the Patriots.
Patriots better than the Vikings.
I know you're just trying to rile me up, but stop.
Patriots would have beat the Bucs. Patriots would have beat the Bucs.
Probably not.
They would have.
Nah, not last week.
No,
with the way Mac Jones played, he throws 4 interceptions. I don't know what the Eagles were doing. I mean, every play they had a chance for Jalen Carter to run from the defensive line the 30 yards to where the receiver was because the ball just floats. I don't know what's going on there. But no, I'm like I said earlier, fuck the loss. I'm back in. I'm talking my shit. Give me the Vikings.
Got it. Ravens Bengals, like I said earlier, I think this is the week the Ravens corners explode, so I'm taking the Bengals. Bengals good win game. I think they'll have a good bounce back game here.
Also, just for you guys, Cuzzo is 3-1 on Thursday night since joining Minnesota.
Oh,
his 3-2 on Thursday.
His only loss was to the Rams in 2018.
By the time you guys listen to this episode, Kirk Cousins is 3-2 on Thursday night. So
4-1, dog.
Why would you say the next game was? I got distracted. Bengals and who?
It's Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals against Baltimore. I think this is the week that
I'm taking the Joe Shiesty bounce back. Bengal good win game.
God, am I just gonna be different every turn?
Do
it. Different.
Do it.
The Bengals. Nah. I want to take the Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens.
With what corners? With what? Who's guarding
Marlon
Jamar?
could be back.
Okay, then who's guarding T?
By the way, did it matter? Combined, T and Jamar had, 4 catches for 5 yards?
Yeah, but Baltimore actually has a good second, or not Baltimore. Cleveland actually has a good secondary.
Yeah, but the bigger issue was that the pressure, which Baltimore can get, the same. Okay. Maybe not the same. They don't have Myles Garrett, but
I was gonna say they don't have a single player that's even close to Myles
Garrett.
They
have, players who can get pressure, and it's not like it matters. I'm pretty sure I could get pressure against the Bengals offensive line.
See, the thing we're not considering here. Oh Jesus, my computer just died.
The thing we're not considering is Pat Ricard.
No, the thing we're not considering here is the Bengals cut Lyle Collins, therefore their bad juju is gone.
They will win game.
Maybe, or they just cut the only starting offensive lineman on their roster.
He was on the PUP list and wasn't even playing.
Yeah, I know, but he's maybe the only starting caliber O-lineman they got. Did you see how they played against the Browns?
Ducks Lions. Detroit. I don't want to say I'm out on Seattle, but I think the Lions are the same caliber team as the Rams, and Seattle got blown out by the Rams.
The only reason I'm taking Detroit in this game is because Abe Lucas is hurt.
Oh,
Cross is
okay.
too.
I didn't know
Oh,
that.
Cross is hurt too.
Oh yeah.
I saw a
That
Seahawks
changes
fans
life.
tweet that they were both out.
Okay, that.
Yeah,
So-
dude. If
I was gonna
Oh,
take
I
the
don't know if they're
Seahawks
both.
anyway.
I don't know
Also,
if they're both
speaking of the
missing
Seahawks, I didn't say this earlier. I just want to put it out there now. Fuck DK Metcalf. He's a whole ass bitch.
Always has been. Welcome to learning ball.
I see that now, but like that play in particular,
Yeah.
it's the cheapest, softest
Also-
bullshit I've ever seen.
That had the funniest clip of the weekend because the hot mic was on Gino and Aaron Donald was running at him and he just,
Oh my God.
oh my God.
Which, I mean,
That's what any of
Fair.
us would do.
That's valid.
Any of us
but,
would do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
honestly,
Yeah.
Gino was a lot more PG than I would have been.
Oh yeah, I would, holy
Actually, what I would have
Holy
said
fucking
is bring
fuckity
it.
fuck.
I would have yelled spin move and then spun out of the sack.
fuck.
That's what I
No.
would have done. I would have screamed spin
No, you would have
move.
just been Cuzzo. Gosh darn it.
God dang it.
Frick.
On the ground. God dang it, Aaron. I gotta tell you, I'm real good at this
That was a
thing,
good
man.
hit. That was a good hit. Help me up.
Really good, man.
I think my ribs are broken. Good hit. Good hit.
Dude, that's just Andrew Luck. I don't know if you guys have seen him mic'd up, but that was
No.
what Luck
No,
did.
Andrew Luck's so much softer now. He's like, good job. That was a really
Pretty
good
much.
tackle, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take the Lions too because I didn't realize the Seahawks were
Okay,
shot.
Clean sweep.
Um,
Although,
Anthony
we
Richardson
can-
versus
although
CJ Stroud, boys.
I would say, praise be to our Lord Jackson and Jigba.
Yes.
Man.
We got Texans Colts.
CJ Stroud versus Anthony Richardson, baby. I'm taking
Is Richardson
Anthony Richardson.
gonna be alive?
He could have played when Minshew went in, but they decided there was no point. I
Oh.
think.
Oh, he got hurt?
So they just
Yeah,
played
like
Minshew.
the
He
last
did
play of
get
the
hurt.
game.
What did he hurt? Do we know?
I think they feared it to be concussion, and he's fine.
Yeah,
I
because Trevor
believe.
Lawrence hit him with the, you played really good, but like, you got to protect yourself, kid.
It's because
Which is valid.
Because he
Isn't
hasn't
that
learned how to
crazy to
slide
hear?
yet.
I
and
really
he-
wonder if he did say that. I don't know if he added the kid, but I'd love it if he did.
I'm taking Anthony Richardson in this one personally, just because of Anthony Richardson. The Colts, I think, are the better football team at the current moment. So,
Oh,
give me DeForest Buckner versus the Texans' offensive line, please and thank you.
That's
will
gonna
take
be
that.
so fun to watch.
Okay, but what
Oh my
about
God.
Will
Oh my God.
Anderson
I'm
versus
hold on.
the Colts?
I'm calling
offensive
my
line?
shot right now. The Tommy Watt Atabare first career sack
He's not
against
playing.
Houston.
He's out.
What?
He didn't play this past week, so I'm assuming he's not gonna.
Is he hurt? He's not hurt,
Find out.
but I'm still calling my shot.
I think
Googling
yeah, it's probably. I don't know, man.
I'm not seeing anything about him being hurt.
Give me the Colts.
Play?
I guess give me the
Stupid.
Colts. Well, I don't know if you want us to answer that. I'm sorry. Sorry, one of us has to keep the conversation going. We can't just have dead air while you two are
Oh,
just
I'm
looking,
just looking
the same
for-
thing up.
There's
Looking
no
for
available
snap counts.
information on his NFL stats, so
So-
on ESPN. So
Oh,
maybe he
hold
did
on.
not
Maybe
play.
I'm checking snap counts. Maybe he played.
Oh my God,
Those are Jaguars snap counts. I don't care about them.
this guy.
There's no
I don't
available
know.
information on his game log, meaning he did not see a snap.
I'm struggling because, like, I know I said I'm going Colts, but part of me wants to take the Texans. I don't know why.
I'm going with Colts.
I don't trust the Colts at all, but the Texans are so bad. I don't know.
He didn't register any snaps. He didn't play.
He says he's active, which means he was a healthy scratch, which is no shot.
All right, if that's
There
not
is a shot
happening,
that-
then
They have him listed as a defensive tackle currently, and there's like 10 good ones on the
I
Colts.
guess. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Colts. But since Adi might not play, I'll call my shot differently. EJ Speed interception against the Texans. Book it.
I'm excited to hear this one. This career, gentlemen.
fuck.
Bears and Bucks. I am taking Tampa. Taking Tampa.
Yeah,
Bro,
basically.
we're so bad. We're so back.
Defense is really good.
We're
Bro's
so back,
just
bro.
copying my energy. He's just ready to get.
Nah,
he's
dude,
ready to be
listen.
hurt again.
Listen,
Let's take the
Baker
Bears, I
who?
get it.
Baker who? Never heard of her.
Baker about to
Here's
bake
my
the Bears.
million.
Geek, you're the tiebreaker.
Yeah, dude, I gotta go the Bucks. Gotta.
Yeah, that's my boy.
I gotta. I went the Bears once. They fucked me over because they suck. So, give me
Never
Baker.
Again. Not again
Against
this season.
what
I don't
is
care who they're
obviously
playing.
the worst defense in football at this moment. Like who's
Ain't
guarding
nobody
Mike
worse.
Evans?
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, he did
Who's
such
guarding
a
Chris
good
Godwin?
job against Samari Toure.
He wasn't lining up against Torre. The rookie was.
I don't care who he was lining up against. It wasn't great. Nothing was
Jalen
that
Johnson
good.
was fine.
But give me the Bucks. Miller, you can.
Also, listen, I'm just putting it out there. The wide receivers cooking us weren't the result of the corners. It was the zones they were playing and the safeties fucking up.
And the scheme's gonna change in a week.
No, but I'm hoping they make some sort of adjustment because I'm going to be an
No.
optimistic fan in week 2.
So
The same way I am.
offensive
You're
play
taking my
calling-
energy.
This offensive play calling against this Tampa defense. Thank you.
God.
I will take the Bucks.
Getsy's getting fired into the sun. Andrew Janico's going to call plays this week, as far as I'm concerned. Fields is calling plays this week.
Defensive
They'll lose by
plays.
50.
I'm just saying.
You gotta
One
look out
time
for the
Fields-
scramble.
The one time Fields called a play in our game against the Packers, we scored a touchdown.
That's an
So
offensive
Fields is
play.
calling plays
All
this week.
right,
They were
Yeah,
also
we gotta
inside-
go.
They were also inside the 20. And
Fields still cooked. Trust him.
we gotta move. Chiefs Jags. Give me the Chiefs. If Kelsey's back, it's them.
Give me Duval.
Okay. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I got the Jags.
Miller. Breaker.
Chris Jones is back. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs.
And Kelsey's back. Give
Is
it to
Chris
me.
Jones covering Calvin Ridley? I want to see that actually.
By himself. He's going on an island outside.
Oh, so the Jags are winning by 70.
Oh, we paid you? Now you're going to go out there and you're going to cover Calvin Ridley. Because we told you to.
Coach, that doesn't make any sense.
Hey, listen, buddy. We're paying you to play defense, and you're going to play defense.
That would be hilarious.
Nobody else can stop him, so...
Let's see if me and Miller are going to do me and Miller
that I'm
things.
going to be outnumbered on this one. Packers, Falcons. I'm taking the Packers. Versus the Packers defense. Yes, please. John Robinson versus the Green Bay Packers defense. No, thank you.
Give
But
me,
don't
I
worry
was going
about
to say,
him.
give
It'll be fine.
me
It'll be fine.
Bajan.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers.
Nah, Jordan Love's going to get eaten by A.J. Terrell and Jesse Bates. Every throw's a pick.
I'm rooting for it to happen, but
I got to just stay
I'll take
being
the
different.
Packers.
Give
Hey,
me
listen, man.
Falcons.
The only person I can see being different on this one is Geek because he hates Josh Allen. Bills Raiders.
Nah, I'm going Bills. Bounce back. Bounce back in
Yeah,
Buffalo.
I'm kidding. Yeah, but it's
in
yeah,
Buffalo.
listen,
also.
that's why Haley, I need you to hit my line before Sunday because then you'll want to change your mind. So like, Bills are gonna
that's
win.
true.
Yeah,
but Haley's
against
gonna be
those
losing.
corners-
You've got a deadline.
The bounce back is going to be insane. Allen might go for 7 touchdowns. Who's guarding
Imagine-
anybody?
Imagine he doesn't. Nate Hobbs has like game of the fucking year.
Oh, Nate Hobbs looks like Jordan Whitehead out there.
Yeah.
Jordan Whitehead mixed with Darrell Revis.
Sick. I'm down.
It'd be funny if every team that plays the Bills just keeps trading Jordan Whitehead to the next team.
That
How
would
many
be
times-
actually
for every team the
kinda
Bills
sick.
play.
Is there a limited amount of times that a player can be traded in a
No,
season?
there's just a limited amount of weeks. He'd have to start getting cut.
They start getting cut and then signed as a free agent every single week. That'd be funny. Chargers Titans.
This is how the Bills get Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
genius.
I don't know if it is.
I said Chargers Titans.
Chargers Titans. I'm taking the Chargers.
This is a football game I have zero interest in. Mid versus ass, dude.
Give me
I'm
the
not gonna watch
Chargers.
it, but I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, give me the Chargers, but like,
Honestly, I think that one might be a blowout.
Oh no, the Chargers are going to blow their backs out.
Ayo.
I meant what I said. No phrasing. I meant it exactly that way.
Listen, man. I got caught picking an upset pick against the Niners last week.
I don't know if
I tell you.
You don't bet against.
Yeah, that was a mistake, dude.
There ain't no way it can happen to me twice. So give me the loss. I'm just kidding. I'm taking the Niners.
Yeah, give me the Niners. All of my shot.
Yeah,
you check Tutty this week.
Give me the Niners. Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to make sure the picks I actually made are the same as the picks I'm making now.
Yeah. Giants Cardinals. This is actually my upset pick. Give me the Cardinals.
Ooh. Give me the Giants. I don't think they can stop Saquon.
Defense versus Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't think they can defend Saquon.
Also, Sexy Dexy against Yalti Froholt.
Yeah.
Dude. Give me
their entire
Giants.
Defensive line against everyone. Even Paris Johnson's probably gonna have a bad day. Like.
Yeah. How did he do
George
against
Cuddy, though? I need
Does anybody know?
Injected into my veins.
No
What?
Anybody know how Paris Johnson looked? Okay, never mind. We'll figure it out. All right, Jets Cowboys. Give me them boys. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
No Rodgers. No W.
Yeah.
That defense is too good for Zach to overcome.
Sam Howell versus Russell Wilson.
Give me the commies.
Give me the Broncos. It's in Denver.
I'm also taking commies.
I'm taking the commies.
Give me the Broncos. They looked better, and, the Commanders won't be able to breathe. Literally.
It won't matter when Montez Sweat makes what's his nuts? Right, Mike McGlinchey looked like a turnstile.
Dolphins Patriots. Give me the Fins.
Yeah, give me the Fins.
Gives me the Dolphins. As much as I want to pick the Patriots, I can't pick against Mike McDaniel.
I just can't pick against that Dolphins team yet. They got to show me something worth picking against.
Dude, it's a super team. They don't have Ramsey, but it's still a super team. And Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio is literally a pairing out of a fucking wet dream of mine. It's absurd. I love it so much.
Yikes. Fair enough.
Derek Carr versus Bryce Young. Battle of mid. What do we got?
I hate to say it.
I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah.
Give me Carolina.
I'm taking the Saints.
I hate to say it because I need Carolina to lose, but give me Carolina.
JC Horn being out does not bode well for them covering Olave. So
or Michael Thomas. Or
I forgot about JC Horn being out. Scratch that completely.
Also,
I forgot about Horn.
I don't know if the Panthers have a competent receiver, but whoever their best receiver is just being guarded by Lattimore means they don't have any good receivers.
And they also have, what's his name? Who's the other really good corner? Alontae Taylor guarding whoever their second receiver is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Tyrann Mathieu dude, Tyrann Mathieu's about to do to Bryce Young what Jesse Bates did. Because the Honey Badger is just a pick artist at this point.
He's back.
Yep.
He's back.
We're going to get the Honey Badger's back narrative.
I still have
we're back department. I'd like to file a claim.
Why do we hate Tyrann Mathieu?
I don't hate him. I'm just
You said you had zero respect for him.
Like, respect isn't like I think he's going to be anything. I worded that poorly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Bryce Young is just going to throw goofy.
I don't like actively hate Matthew or anything. I'm just not buying it.
I agree.
I'll put it this way. Better way to put it, I have zero stock in Tyrann Mathieu.
Gotcha.
The Monday night game, it's a good one. Browns Steelers.
Pickett looked terrified against the Niners defense. The Browns defense also really good.
I morally cannot pick Cleveland. Give me Pittsburgh.
I get it.
I will take the loss.
I get it. I have risked too many biscuits here to accept a loss.
Yeah, true.
I would rather be the good guy than right.
I mean, you picked the Packers, so.
Yeah, but I didn't pick Deshaun Watson.
I didn't pick Deshaun Watson. Did you hear how I only talked about the defense? I picked the Browns defense.
Against Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, actually, I picked Kenny Pickett to lose, is actually what happened there.
Geek's just racist.
I need my narratives to stay winning. Because I was the only
Okay,
one here who
Theo.
said Pickett was bad, and I stand
Theo.
by it.
Okay, Theo.
Yeah. Way to end it. Theo.
Whoa. Actually, don't we have to talk about the fantasy league? Or did we already? Did I miss that? Oh,
Talked about
Is that the only
but-
Monday night game? I thought there were two.
the Saints and Panthers.
Maybe Saints and Panthers.
Oh, the
was
Saints
also
and
Monday
Panthers
night
are Monday
game.
night too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dolphins Patriots is the SNF one.
Also,
yeah.
can we
That's
talk
the
about
first
the
Monday game.
greatest fantasy football matchup of all time that I don't even know if Jake was paying attention to? My
Chase?
Dynasty League, me and Jake.
win?
No, I ended up beating you because Trayvon Diggs came back, had a good game. It ended like 274 to 272. Dude, it was Justin Jefferson. We have defense in my Dynasty League. You know this, Miller. So we had the best defensive players in the league. Because TJ Watt, Josh Allen, you have Tyreek in that league. We put on a show. It was fireworks. I'm sad that you weren't paying attention to it. I thought you were
I wasn't paying
excited
attention
about
to
it.
any fantasy
That's
after
unfortunate.
4:25 p.m. I said until last night, and I needed Tyler Bass to miss the field goal, and then he made it. That was really sad.
Fair.
But yeah, that is all we've got for you guys. A jam-packed show, but we got through it. We obviously really hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please be sure to do everything you can to help grow the podcast. Go follow us on all our socials: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at Run the North Podcast, everywhere. Again, we'll be updating you guys with weekly fantasy league updates, weekly leaderboard updates for our picks. So if you want to see those, obviously go follow our Twitter, follow our Instagram, do all that great stuff and help grow the podcast any way you can. Like I said, love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.